Hello my friends, I'm going to show you how to find Bigfoot. Bigfoot is much sought after, so we're going to have to try to find more than one.
I'm going to show you how to open a coconut. First thing I do is drain the liquid that's inside, and I use my Swiss Army knife. What you need to do to drain the liquid is punch one of these holes out, and if you look at these, this one is not typical, but when you look at these, there will be two that will be closer together and look like a little face. Just pick the one that would look like the mouth. That's the easier one to open up. On this one, it's so symmetrical I can't see any difference. So right there, I just punched a hole through it. Effortless. You can also take a screwdriver. Now, you want to shake these and hear a liquid. This one has been sitting around my house for a few weeks, and I think a lot of the liquid has already evaporated. Probably a little larger hole would do it. That's about it. Should be a lot more than that in there. This is already old. Okay, now what I want to do is crack this in half. So I'm going to take the edge of the hammer right here, and you want to go around this coconut and just keep tapping on this imaginary line, and keep doing that, and you'll hear a tone change where it sounds like it's hollow. There it went. And we coax that crack all the way around. Almost perfect. Okay, the inside still looked good. I was questioning whether that would be alright or not. Now to get that inside removed, I always use a butter knife and just push it in. We could break this all the way, but we want the coconut halves, the shell. Let's work that in and pop pieces out, and you'll do the whole thing this way. There you have it, 2 coconut halves. Now the next thing I'm going to do is cut this into manageable pieces, and I'm going to saw that. I could break it with a hammer, but I want to control the cuts. I want pieces to be sized that I can work with. So next thing I'll do is just cut these into
Here I'm smoothing out some of the outer surface. There's still a lot of fiber attached to the surface. I want to get it down quite a bit, but I still want to leave the texture in that outer piece. This is enough to allow me to attach the pattern. After you rough cut Bigfoot out, you attach your pattern onto the pieces. They're rough cut out, and what you can see here, there's a difference in thickness, and I attach the head to the thicker part, and the reason for doing that is when I hang this, I want to drill through in this direction for the pendant, for the chain or lace. Okay, and what I manufactured is a sawing vise for this, and I'm using my jeweler saw, and it pulls on the downward cut. So I'm going to cut in this yoke area, and just like this. And you do need to get it started. When you make a turn, you have to hold it stationary and keep it moving up and down. so that you don't break the blade. When you put your blade in, you have to make sure it's taut. That last one had slack, that's why it broke so easily.
You'll probably be breaking one or two blades before you're finished with all the cutting.
When you're cutting, you can cut right into this wood.
A training exercise for using a jeweler saw that we did in college was to cut the figure out of a coin and use that as a pendant.
I'm trying to turn out of this cut. My saw teeth are pointing downward, so it's cutting on the pool. I kept it moving as I was trying to make a real slight turn, and it'll saw its way around a circle or in a single spot, stationary spot. There's one. Next step is to start filing, rounding all the edges, then drill it and polish it, and ready to hang. Two more to do.
Use a set of jeweler files to do this. They're small and will allow you to work in all the small grooves and surfaces.
I want to start rounding all the surfaces. When this coconut is filed, sanded, and then polished, it looks just like a bronze stone. It's real hard. It could fool about anybody looking at it. I'm not going to try to get all the saw marks out. They're real fine anyway. It just look like burr markings. The area where I live, there's a number of people that have claimed to have seen Bigfoot, and there's a local group that they go out searching. The local Indians say that Bigfoot's a shapeshifter. That's why you hardly ever see them, is they could be right near you and they could be walking right through your campgrounds and you'll never see them because they changed their shape. Told that to my nephews and scared them. Now they're afraid to go in the woods. And what really scared them is when they heard the neighbor's bull making its noise in the evening, and I said, I think that might be Bigfoot. I don't think they thought that was funny. Then that evening they wanted to go and swim down in the creek, which is in the woods. And I showed him some pictures of one of the local bears, and I showed him some castings that I made of the bear paw prints. And then the whole time they were down in the woods, they didn't go swimming because they kept looking to see if there was Bigfoot or the bear. So I think they need to be in the woods a little more. The file cuts on the push stroke, so you apply pressure only when you're pushing. Oh, about a half hour, I think, of filing. Then sand and polish. The coconut surface is going to give a good texture to this, and the inside I removed the light skin that's inside so I could get it down to the shell. And I want to soften all the edges so there's no sharp points. This is 120, and we want to go to a finer paper. This one is 220. Then we'll go to 400, and then we'll polish it. $400. You can start seeing the shine just from the 400. This is my hand cream, which is made from beeswax and olive oil and coconut oil and a few other additives, but this also I use for rubbing on wood and makes a nice wood finish, and it absorbs inside and it keeps the wood healthy. This could have been taken right onto a buffing wheel, but I don't have one set up. So from the 400 grit sandpaper right to this. And as that dries, it will take a polish. The beeswax will make a waterproof surface on it, and it will absorb into the coconut shell. And the final thing is drill it for a ring so that I can hang it as a pendant. Here we go. We found Bigfoot in a coconut shell. 3 of them. I need to put that hand cream on my hands. Drill right here, and that's the center of gravity, so it'll hang straight. The drill bit I'm using is so small that I had to wrap it with paper so that my drill will hold it. the ring that's going to go through there, this one's probably going to hang a little better because it's thin. But what I'm going to do is taper the hole upward. And I put the bit in part way and lift it. This one I have to exaggerate more because it's thicker. Hole goes through straight, but it tapers up. And here's the ring. I'm going to open it up. Close the ring. Now where you closed, you don't want to see an air gap. And that looks good. There's no gap in there. Okay, now if I put the lace through there now, it's going to make it hang funny. So what I do next is I take two smaller rings, and then we only have to open one of them. Feed one ring on. Feed this ring on. And close. And the same with this ring. We don't want to see a gap. My fingers are too big. You need to inspect these fasteners or you'll be searching for Bigfoot again. May not find him the second time. Okay, if you have a real little gap, I don't know if I can even show it. What you do is you put the gap on one end of the pliers and you squeeze it down. And that'll close the gap. Right there, no gap on all those rings. Then the next thing is we need the leather lace. Now the length, you need to make a loop that's going to be able to slide over your head. So I'm sizing it. And we want it a little bit loose. So right there. So we'll cut a little extra. That end's ugly. Cut a little extra. And then you want to make a fisherman knot. And that's a half hitch like that. One loop. This end goes through the hole. Now this end, we make the same knot. Right there. You see they're coming out the same way. Snug those up a bit. Right there. Now, to fit it over your head, close that loop, and it may hang real low, so to raise it up, you pull these two, and you can control the length of that loop and where it's going to hang. And the 3 rings should allow Bigfoot to hang right in line with the cord. There, that's a little bit better in view. There's one. There's two. Here's a close-up view of the fisherman knot that you have on your necklace, and this is the position. When you adjust it, it'll allow you to allow Bigfoot to be close to your neck. And here is the finished projects. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, my friends. Bye-bye.